to what we want to achieve in our lives. So, you could be someone who's working in a corporate job or in a smaller organization, or someone who is studying or taking a sabbatical, or, of course, an entrepreneur, either a single entrepreneur running it on your own or a co founder of a company. And it seems like everything is very constant. There's a lot of things changing out there in the business environment. Starting from if you're an employee, a lot of new tools coming online, a lot of new challenges, new competitors taking up market position, people's consumer preferences are changing. If before you have customers who just buy whatever that you sell, today they're starting to question the ingredients in the products that you're selling, or how they have been mined, how they have been manufactured and transported, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot today that we need to actually look into if we are going to continue to survive in this new, rather challenging environment. And of course, one of the biggest inspiration is none other than Elon Musk, who's been continuously bringing in new innovations and new solutions and continue to further develop on these things at a pace that is almost godlike. And which is where exactly we are in our human evolution. We are at that stage of being able to create some of the most incredible solutions that possibly man or modern man, or what we call modern man, is actually being exposed to. We have microchips which can directly connect to your brain and control certain things, which is something new that Elon Musk created for people with physical challenges to connect directly with their computers. And of course, inadvertently, these computers connect to an exoskeleton or any other device around the house. You can control things with your mind. And this was science fiction some time ago. It no longer is. 2024, today we can connect our brains to a system that can actually control our cars, our appliances, uh, our body suits, our body armors, anything for that fact. And this is the reality that we live in. And if you're still running about as being part of the rat race, ignoring all these things and just doing your stuff that you're told to do without any thought whatsoever in this new paradigm that we are living in, you're going to definitely run yourself to the ground overwork, because instead of embracing these machines, you'll actually be trying to compete with that. It's simple as trying to run besides a Formula One car, right? It's just humanly impossible to do that, right? Try to run even beside a person who's on a bicycle. It's humanly impossible to do that. So that is what we're talking about. We're talking about understanding the tech that's around you. It's not always does it work perfectly, but every day we are improving to make it better. Like, for example, this camera that I'm recording myself right now, which I'm looking at, it doesn't have a display to say if what it's recording is of quality, is in good focus. Of course, I have a way of connecting it to my laptop where I can see the image myself if I'm in focus and so on, and I can actually control that. But it's a bit of a hassle to do every day to set it up. Maybe I should start doing it. So there's always today a solution if you just think a little bit outside the box, just a little bit. It's as simple as asking ChatGPT, what can I do about this specific problem? I had a little wobbliness in my car while I was driving in because it's got some new tires on. And immediately, me being the obsessive compulsive disorder type, I started Googling as to what it was and making a couple of phone calls as well to people who work in the industry. and I have so many answers and so many ways of fixing it, and of course, tightening the screws even more, being who I am. It's to find what's the most inexpensive way of getting this car sorted out. And do I have to take an expensive tire balancing or other wheel alignment check? Then I found out that was no necessary since there was no such specific repairs or replacements done. It was just tires. So then within the course of a few hours, I narrowed down the issue, and which I'll be resolving pretty soon. So this is basically the world that we're living in today. We have access to some of the most amazing tech out there. We have access to unlimited knowledge out there. But of course, it does help you to be a little bit more mindful when you're doing your research online to see if you're going overboard. Like most of us do, we have a simple discoloration in the skin, and before we know it, we're going to an oncologist because that's what the internet told us. So it's also to remember that not to over exaggerate, not to overdo it, not to bring our obsessive compulsiveness into everything that we're doing. To learn, yes, you have to do your research, but then you also have to just sit back and trust that your life is not always in danger, because our reptilian brain still loves the danger, still thrives in anxiety and fear and insecurities and so on, because that's what our primitive selves needed to survive. And in a country or in a time where we have technology which can connect our brains to machines, we do not need those, or rather, we are not at danger at every given corner. We are one of the most protected species in the face of Earth. So take all this into consideration when you're going into work. Know that where you're working, what you're doing, it doesn't matter whatever you field that you are. Are you a student? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you an employee? There are so many ways of making your life better. Be outspoken. If you find a way to do something that takes 8 hours, normally, if you find a way to do it in 30 minutes, do it. Take that opportunity, because that is what will take you to the next level